My humble greetings, fellows. In respect of, faith believers or those who have understanding of believing in a divine God, I strongly believe that somehow most presentations or books or writings were really reflect on a different approach to the belief or the faith, rather than what is intended, what is it's intended to be. That's what a true verbal presentation. There are those who seek religion as a faith, religion as religion as a peaceful sort of movement, and actually that's what it's meant to be. But to my personal experience and my observation and to my encounters, it's not a hidden secret. If you read books like the Quran or the Christian book, the Bible, or maybe the Torah, just the Jewish sect, these are the major books of these days, which claim to be very peaceful, but yet I personally have not been able to see the peace in it as I read through the books, because the presentation of the books are not in respect given the presentation that they are meant to do, or they are meant to let their audience believe that they are. If anyone choose to go through these books, it is obvious and clear whereby you see the storyline or the historical events revealing that men going to war instructed by their God or by their religious leader or whoever is the judge of the time, to sort of fight or defend themselves in order to achieve peace. So they use war in so many instances as a means of achieving peace or some sort of settlement among themselves or their neighbors. And I don't see how this today is different from that time or those days. This is what is done today, actually, where the same means are being used, where people of the same faith or claiming to have God in that respect, or believing in God in that respect, choose to use violence as a means of achieving their peace that they so deserve. Now, it's either we choose to accept the idea that there is no divine help in that respect of achieving peace, and it is mainly man's own effort to devise means or any means possible to achieve the peace that we so required, or the humble settlement that we so required in our lives. Even in our individual lives or families, a man bringing up a child needs to use that manly power, or exert some ways of trusting in the child in order to correct the child, or be at peace with his child, or be at peace in his family, or sort of bringing peace in his family among him and his children, and sometimes even him and his spouse. So if we go to the wider world, where we see countries standing up and standing up against each other in so many ways and trying to prove their rights in the grounds of using violence to sort of demonstrate their strength and their ability, and that gives them the right to do whatever they so please, it's become very worrying. to my view, I think almost every or most religious grounds have got some form of faith or religion or some culture that they stand by or some moral standards that they live up to. And these are things that has generated over the years, gradually passing on from generation to generation, and it is no different. So based on that, I can strongly point out from the religious point of view, which has been a long-standing surviving society or surviving institution, which all of us have been born out of it, despite you becoming an atheist at this stage of life or religious, whichever way it is. We all have come gradually through the experiences of religious backgrounds or related to religious people one way or the other, or there are religious institutions that have ruled and controlled society through means of force or persuasion. And in that respect, I cannot put this aside. Now, if I read the books of the Bible, where you read the books of David, or the books of Muhammad, or the books of the history books of even the times of the New Testament of what Jesus, or the Yehoshua, the writings of Yehoshua, or let's say even the current days of the religion of today, Christianity or Muslims, you see that there is this strong belief that they can stand by the idea of fighting in order to achieve peace. And this is something that is being done at ease without any remorse whatsoever. And that is very worrying to me, because I feel that people should not take up the mantle of themselves if they truly believe in a living God who has got the ability and have got the power to resolve the issues that they are so much fighting against. And if religious people are standing on the ground and saying that I have a difference with that neighbor, and it's regarding land, or it's regarding relationship, or it's regarding culture, or it's regarding maybe very irrelevant issues, or very little issues, or issues that might not be so significant, that is regarding let's say someone's idea or presentation of faith, whichever way it might be. At the end of the day, others choose to use or demonstrate their strength to be able to sort of achieve their main aim or purpose in that regard. I think is wrong. It's hard time in these days for us to come to that moment of realizing that if you want to be able to prove that your God is a God for real, you have to put him to that challenge of letting him be who he is. In the books of the Bible, or whichever way, the Quran, the God of these books challenges even the prophets that demonstrates them, to tell them that in the situation of whatever demand they may be doing, he challenges them to it and tells them they shouldn't even think of taking up the arms on their own, but they should depend fully on his ability and trust that he will deliver them from the hands of their enemies. Now, when it comes to that, I, for instance, do not expect harm being done. I expect with a click of the finger or by the thought of the mind of the living God that if God wants the enemy to stop